Hey everyone, this is Tom from VermiBag. I am going to do a quick harvest today on a VermiBag Micro that I had at work. I bring this home every month or so when it starts getting full. I do a quick harvest on it and then I take it back to work. Nice thing about the Micro is it's light enough that you can actually just pick it up and place it somewhere where you can easily access it for harvesting it. So I'm going to pull it over here and set it up onto a stand and do a quick harvest on it. Okay, so all I did was lift up the VermiBag Micro and put it up on this. This is an extra wood stand for a VermiBag Mini. I have a piece of plywood on the top, makes it into a little table. I just took 3 2x4s basically and just stuck them under the edge of the bag for I lift it up a little bit. And again, this thing's going to weigh about as much as a 5-gallon bucket full of dirt. So I mean, it's not super light, but it's not bad at all. And you don't have to lift it up as high as I did here. But nice thing is when I put 3 2x4s underneath it, I happen to have a tray that will just fit perfectly underneath it here. So now I have plenty of room here to do my harvest, and it'll all fall into that little tray. So I'll go ahead and set up the camera and zip this open and pull out a few gallons. So this VermiBag Micro is about 3/4 full. It's just above the top of the Vermi window cover. So when you open up the Vermi window, it's completely full of material. So I have about 4 inches or 3.5 inches of space at the top. And also, now this is one of the prototype originally Micros, and I have a little bit smaller zipper and stuff on it now. All the Micros that go out now have a number 8 zipper, which is substantially larger than this. Go ahead and unzip it. Just grab the zipper, pull it around, and then just open it up. Now, what came out of the very, very bottom there is super dry. So the bottom of the system, I let it get too dry. This is actually just bone dry. But as soon as I take out this first little chunk, now this is super moist right here. So I haven't been feeding it too much, and I tended to, at work, sometimes I'm gone for a week or something like that, and so sometimes it'll dry out a little bit. A good way to monitor your any of the VermiBags is just reach and touch the bottom of it with the harvest panel closed, and you can tell if it's starting to dry out on the bottom at all. I mean, it'll feel crumbly per se. And if that happens, just add a bottle of water to your system and until that moisture level comes up for it feels moist down there. Add a little bit, maybe a half a water bottle. Next day check it. If it's still dry, add another half a water bottle until you get to that point where it's moist on the bottom again. And then try and maintain it with moist feedings and large feedings. So I'm just going to quickly go up probably just above the zipper. And this stuff is well worked over castings. Very, very well. I can sift this right now for sure. I'm going right along the edge of the zipper right here right now. I'm going to do that all the way around it. Again, be careful when you do this, so you don't take your spare hand that's all dirty and put it up on the side of the bag here. It's not going to hurt anything, but your bag's going to get messy and you're going to have to get a toothbrush or something, some hot water and some soap and scrub it off once it dries off. But it's real easy to, normally you can kind of grab a hold of this liner and keep a hold of the liner. So I'm up right now, right at the zipper level all the way around. I can run my finger all the way around it and I'm flat going across, back and forth across the middle of it. So I think that's about it. That's all I want to do. I don't want to go up too far because if you go up too far and harvest these, then while you're doing this, the system can collapse on it. It's not the end of the world. You can actually get it closed again, but I prefer to keep it solid up there. So once that's done, again, grab your zipper, zip it up. Now at this point, what I call a reset Just take the bag, push on the sides of the bag there, push on the sides there. Now this is completely full again. Let me pull the bag down here and we'll take a look at these castings and see what they look like. Okay, so there's about 3 gallons, I suppose, of castings here. I just weighed it and it's right at 10 pounds. So not a tremendous amount, but just a quick harvest. You should be able to easily get something like that out of it every couple of weeks. The material that's here is, you know, absolutely fabulous material. I'll probably pull up the screener here real quickly just to show you. I'm going to screen this right now, and then it'll easily go through the screener, and we'll have just beautiful castings from it. You know, the difference, I heard the term, a couple people talking on a couple of the forums, the difference between vermicompost and vermicastings, basically. And I never really thought about it, but I mean, there's definitely a difference. If you try and process your castings too quickly, you basically have vermicompost because there's still material there that the worms could eat. And so you have a lot of castings mixed in with a lot of decomposing material that they could. But when you leave a system for a long time, the worms are going to work over absolutely everything in there, and you're going to be at probably, you know, 95% castings. And this is very close to that. It's well worked over the bottom section of this. I mean, there's still some chunks here and there, but it's very nice material. If you left it in there for a month or so, you could probably have the worms work it over it even more. I haven't seen very many worms in here. I did see several cocoons though. But let me set it up. I'm going to screen it real fast just to show you how easy it is, straight out of the VermiBag Micro into the tub and screened and into the bucket. Okay, I set up my handy dandy sifter and I'm just going to quickly sift through these castings. So that's all I'm left with there. Just a bunch of... I'll dump that in. I'll put that in my starter for making bedding. Let it go through the system again. And then here's the rest of it. I normally run my hands over the top of this just a little bit because a lot of times these are just pieces of dirt that have kind of snowballed into bigger pieces of dirt. And if you give them kind of a push, a lot of times they kind of crush them and you can get the rest of them through. But again, I don't worry about them because I throw it right back into my bedding mix and it goes back through the system again. This is perfect stuff to inoculate your system with. That's all I have left on there. Not very much at all. That's it. That took about a minute. Now let's take a zoom in a little bit here. I mean, that is some nice compost. I mean, super rich. So in 5 minutes I harvested the mini and sifted the castings out, and I got about 2.5 gallons. I suppose a finished compost here is probably about 8 pounds. You know, several gallons. Beautiful stuff. That's the beauty about the VermiBags, is the way the systems are designed with the airflow. Your castings normally come out at a pretty good moisture content. Sometimes it'll be a little bit too wet to sift right away, and you might have to wait a few days, but in the case of like this mini, they came out absolutely perfect, and you're basically able to go straight from the bag into the sifter, and they went through that so simple here. It was literally, like I said, 1 minute to do that and about 3 or 4 minutes to harvest. That's it for today, folks. Till next time, ciao.